Hey guys, my name is Mark and I'm a user of Yamaha Genos. I'm not a professional musician, I play for my own joy and fun. I'm a hobbyist by all means. Having said that, I've been using Genos for more than 2 years, and of course I have an opinion with I think I know where its strong points now and where it can be improved. So why do I make this video? Because I didn't find any kind of videos that goes into the depths of this frankly speaking fascinating keyboard and shows where it can be improved. So there are different threads on various forums like PSR tutorial and on YouTube also, where people say like I would like to see in the next Genos and then comes a list of features. Basically, as I see it, people do not tend to go very deep into the keyboard. So they might say like in general, we would like to see like a shorter version of Genos, or we'd like to see, I don't know, more buttons, more controls, stuff like this. But I would like to show in a screen in the UI of Genos, where do I think it lacks the capabilities that could be probably, I hope, hopefully, right, done by Yamaha R&D department in the next releases. So I hope you will find this video interesting and enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so I would like to start this video with the overview of the style creator, because this style creator is in my opinion, is the heart of all the arranger keyboards. It's a feature that makes us, the users, to buy the arranger keyboard as opposed to the keyboards like workstation like Montage or MoDX, right? So the whole ability to play styles, to edit styles, is something that makes a difference for us. Okay, so I've prepared a list of something like 25 items that I believe can be improved only in this style creator. And here is my overview with a detailed description of what I suggest. Okay, so let's start. Let's make it a practical approach. So I'll enter the style creator, I'll initialize a new style, and I'll explain what do I want as we go. So the first feature I would like to talk about is the quantization. Now, okay, it's granted that there is a quantization here. Like we can channel edit, quantize, and then we can select the resolution and hit the execute button. So far, so good. However, I would like to see the quantization before we start recording the track. It can be useful when we overdub the long track and it's already quantized, and somehow we want to maybe apply some more fine-grained or coarse-grained quantization. Okay, so it's something that I would really like to see. Now, it can be implemented in different ways, right? So we could, when we hit record, we could see some kind of window of quantization that suggests the ways to quantize before we go recording. It can be some item in the menu, I don't know, like in Korg, in the style creator of Korg keyboards. But this is something that, in my opinion, lacks in Yamaha keyboards, right? Now, the same thing, the same quantization related item is something that I would like to talk about in the step editor, right? So let's to illustrate this, let's record some really easy or really simple pattern, right? And let's start with the drum patterns. The drum pattern. Okay, now let's see. Let's enter the step editor and we see that the notes are not aligned, right? So we should quantize. So we go quantize, execute the quantization. Let's also remove the duplicate notes just in case. Great. So as you see, the notes are quantized here, but how they are quantized? They are quantized by the time of their appearance, right? So there is no possibility to quantize the length of the notes. Now, okay, you might say that for the drums specifically, it's not that important, but for some melodic tracks, it can be really important. Now, in order to make the note the same length, I can use in general the multi-select button, which I should learn precisely how does it work. I should select. I should play with the last note. I will multi-select. Okay, so it can be really tedious. Instead, I would like to to select maybe some bars or maybe some notes, and say like okay, I would like to quantize by length the whole track or a part of the track. Again, bars from 1 to like 4. So the first 4 bars will be quantized. Okay, so this is something I would like to really see in the next models of Yamaha keyboards. Okay, now let's proceed with the solo mode. In order to illustrate the solo mode, I'll proceed with my improvised style and I'll record some more tracks. Like let's add some bass track. The bass, yeah, it's here. I don't know, let's pick this one. And let's try to record something. Okay, and let's continue with some melodic track like chords of piano. Okay, now let's channel edit again, remove duplicate notes. Okay, and let's quantize. Great, so it's enough for our needs. Like, okay, now what do I mean by solo modes? When we want to hear one specific track, one specific channel, we need to mute all the rest of the tracks. So let's pretend I would like to edit drums now. So I have to mute this one and this one, right? So if we have already 8 tracks here, I need to press this button 7 times. If I do this occasionally, I mean, if I do this often, it can be really tedious and then cumbersome to, to always press the same stuff. In the mixer, we already have an ability to mute everything but one track by long press the track that we have. Now I would like to see something similar, maybe with the help of physical button, like, I don't know, hit direct access and then press here, or maybe with the virtual button, it doesn't really matter, but something that will allow me just from this window to mute all the tracks. Okay, so in my opinion, again, it's really important and will make our lives easier. Now, okay, I'll proceed with this idea of soloing, and let's see how does it apply in different modes of the style creator. So let's enter the drum setup. So in order to enter the drum setup, now why do I want to enter the drum setup? Because obviously I want to edit my drum track. So I arm for recording the drum track. Okay, so now drum setup becomes active, and then I mute all the tracks. Okay, or the rest of the tracks, but everything but the drums. Now I enter the drum setup and I hit play just to hear what do I have. Now, so far so good, I hear only the drums track. That's great. However, again, I mute everything. I would like to edit the drum tracks or any other tracks for the sake of example. So I'll take the drum tracks, drums track, and I'll enter the step edit mode. Okay. Again, everything is muted here, but everything but the drums. I enter the step edit mode and I hit play. As you hear, it plays all the tracks, not only the drum. So everything that my setup of muting the tracks before entering the edit mode basically doesn't work. So, and I don't have any way from here to mute all the tracks. Okay, and this is something that, in my opinion, it's a drawback, because usually when I enter the step edit mode, I would like to concentrate on one particular track. Now, again, I would like to see some kind of button, maybe virtual button, maybe physical button, doesn't matter, but something that will allow me to concentrate on only these particular tracks that I'm being editing at this time. Okay, so that regarding the solo mode. Great. Another thing that lacks, in my opinion, also here in the step editor, is the filtering by the range of notes. Now, Korg for Ages has this feature. Okay, so I would like to see here in the event filter, the filter by range of notes. So, for example, if I would like to edit, now we are in drum, so if I would like to edit, I don't know, all the crashes or all the toms, by particular type of the drum, right? So I would like to select the filter only for the notes interval, like, I don't know, from I don't know, maybe F sharp to A sharp, right? I don't know, some particular in the interval. And I would like to see here on the notes of this particular interval. And then I would like to apply maybe, again, the quantization, maybe some editing, or maybe using the multi-select function, I don't know. All stuff that will be so much more convenient if I check out and if I work only with the range of the notes, okay? So that's another point. Now, yet another point, my next point for improvement is the transposition of the track. Now, currently here I can't, basically there is channel edit, I can't transpose anything. So if I have track, usually I would like to up 1 octave or down 1 octave. For example, if I say play the bass, okay, let's see our bass. Okay, now I would like to shift it 1 octave down. Okay, so it's possible to some extent to use SFF edit and play with the note limits. Okay, I saw a couple of tutorials on YouTube about this, but I'm talking about more, in my opinion, more convenient and straightforward approach. Just provide here a transpose 1 octave up, 1 octave down. Okay, now it's possible to do so in the step edit as well. I'll show you. Again, with a meticulous usage of the style of the multi-select button. So let's see. So here I press multi-select, and then I select all the notes, and then it's C1, right? So I can press the button C2, or maybe use the dial wheel. It doesn't really matter. And then I press up here, and it all gets transposed 1 octave up or down, right? So if we wanted to transpose it down, I need to see 0. Great. So you see everything went down 2 octaves now. Now, okay, it works, but what if I have a lot of notes here? If it's a really lengthy track, and using multi-select again can become tedious here. So I suggest here just to implement this transposition. Great. Now, okay, the next, you can say my gripe, right? But the next thing I would like to talk about is the organization of the user interface itself in the step edit. Now, in this generation of Yamaha keyboards, we finally can see the touch screen, which is really a great addition. It's a game changer by all means for me. It's way more convenient to make stuff. But however, what I don't understand is if you already offer the interface or the user interface like this with the touch capabilities, why not allowing us to select one specific note by the touch of our fingers? Like, I would like to select this note. Give me an ability to touch this note. Instead, I have something that resembles the old-fashioned way of navigation with all these cursor arrows. Like, I have to go to this node and then select this column of the table. Now, this is something that I would really like to, to see that can be solved now with the user interface that has a touch capability, just like pressing here. But it doesn't work, unfortunately. Okay. So something that is pretty much in the same area. Once I selected this note here, you see it's too loud. I would like to make it less loud. Okay, I would like to decrease the velocity of the note. So I should hit the dial wheel. Now, okay, in the previous model there was an option in models like S970, for example, there was an option to go 10 items up or down. Now this feature doesn't exist in Genos, as far as I know, at least, or it more precisely it will be to say that this feature doesn't exist in the current generation of the keyboards, and sometimes it can be convenient, like, allow me to move with greater steps than by one, like here, right? So I would like to see here at 90, then 100, 110, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if we proceed with the idea of the touch interface, I would like to see here that when I press here the button, it will pop up the screen that will suggest me to enter the velocity that I want. Okay, and it will be even better. But currently, I don't have we don't have this feature. Okay, so again, a great addition. One small thing that can, I mean, it's not one small thing, that many small things that can be a game changer from the standpoint of convenience. Okay, so that's it. Now, in pretty much the same idea can apply to the navigation in the track. So we have this navigation window, but then again, if we could go provide the window like go to, I don't know, bar 4 by bar 8 and stuff like this, we could enter go to bar 8 with some, convenient 2 clicks or something like this, to pressing one time or maybe 2 times, like select the bar, go, and all stuff like that. I think it will be also better. Okay, now what else? I'm just having the list in front of me of the items, and I go item by item and describe it. Okay, so great. Now the next issue, or it's not issue, next suggestion I would say, is these assignable buttons. Now, assignable buttons, you don't see here them on screen, or you don't see these buttons on screen right now. But I think we all know that there are buttons A, B, C, D, E, F, which are assignable buttons that were introduced in the recent generation of the keyboards. However, these buttons are not active and can't be used in the style creator. So usually they are really convenient. I have stuff like mixer. I have stuff like touch sensitivity on and off. I can use a lot of things, maybe navigation of the bar with these buttons, like pretty much like it's done in the workstation, or like Motif maybe, that have this here. They have the transport buttons here. So bar left, bar right, all stuff like this. So maybe if we were able to use these buttons in the style creator, and if we were able to assign some custom functions, again from the list of the function, which can be pretty much a different list, but in the style creator mode, it could be a great addition to the user experience of the style creators. Okay, so that's this point. Now the next thing I would like to talk about is the auditioning. Now let's say we are happy with this track, so I'll play it again. Okay, so I recorded something. Now I would like to hear how does it work with different chords, maybe in different scales. Now in order to do this, I have to exit the style creator, or maybe even save the style. Now okay, strictly speaking, I don't have to save the style because it still resides in memory, so I just can exit the style creator, hit the button close without saving. Okay, I have a new style here, and now I can hit my start stop button and start playing, right? Now if I need to edit, I need to go again to the style creator. Then I need to make again all the setups I need and proceed from this point. Now in my opinion, it's pretty much complicated. Now instead we could have here, or maybe again physical button, right? It doesn't really matter. We could have here something like Audition button that turns on and off the audition mode. When I'm in the audition mode, I can play. It doesn't record anything, but I can play my chord. It will recognize my chord in accordance with the recognition mode set in the keyboard, and then it will allow me to see how does it sound like. Now I watched a couple of tutorials in YouTube that I suggest a pretty much similar way of doing this by entering the drum editing and then I believe going to, let's see, play root chord. Now it's C major 7, and then they go like, okay, now you want to hear how it will sound like maybe in D minor. Let's go with D minor. Okay, let's see. So yeah, this can be kind of auditioning mode that kind of uses the fact that the drum track doesn't really depend on the play root and play chord setting, but again, it's way less convenient than just hitting the button, the keys of D minor, because if I've got to this point that I can create the style and edit the style, probably the chances are that I do know what D minor, or A minor, and all the maybe even advanced chords are. So I won't have any real problem or any real issue with just pressing the relevant keys. Okay. So let's go to the, okay. So again, a really welcomed addition would be adding this kind of auditioning. Okay, so let's talk now about style assembly. Style assembly is great for constructing the style out of existing styles, existing tracks. So it kind of assumes that I know the source of copying. So the destination is always the current style, something that I'm now editing, okay? But the source is the style, another style, or maybe another version of the current style that I really know what I'm doing. I mean, I really know what my source is. Now we could proceed with this idea and enrich the capabilities of the style assembly function, which is great, by the way. I mean, I use it a lot, but it allows me to copy the whole track. I would like to have an option to select which bars from the source track I would like to copy into my track, and again, which bars from my track and which bars into my destination track. Now it will be way more flexible than it's now, because now I just copy all the track. I have to think about what the length of the source track. Maybe I need to cut, or maybe I need to, on the other hand, I need to make it longer, the whole variation, just to copy, and then I need with the bar copy or bar clear function of the combination of them just go to the desired result. Now again, it's pretty much tedious in my at least cumbersome in my opinion. Okay, so again, enriching this assembly with an ability to copy from and to specific bars. Okay. Now the same idea basically could be applied to the multipads, because multipads are basically a track that can be used as a source of copying. So not only allow me to copy from the style, but also from the multipad. Okay, so again, this video is about the style creator. In the ideal situation, I would like to also see the same stuff happening in the multipad. So I would like to see that I can have one style track and just to copy the track of the style into the multipad. But again, this video is about the style creator, so I'll concentrate on the style creator, what lacks, in my opinion, in this style creator, let's say, department. I don't know, this part of the synthesizer. Okay, so again, to assembly function to copy from multipads as well. Okay, and just the same, we can even take maybe the MIDI song, and it also has tracks. We can access these tracks in the sequencer, and we would maybe just say like, okay, I like these 2, 3, or 4 bars, I don't know, in this particular track. I would like to see to copy them right into the channel, into my channel, okay, of the style. Again, it just could really make our lives easier and make the process of style creation way faster. Okay, so that's regarding the style assembly. Now the next thing I would like to suggest, and okay, this may be a big thing, but currently it's pretty much awkward, like how does it work like, right now. I would like basically to see the full custom editor. Now many people maybe don't know what the custom is at all, but again, if we are editing the style one way or another, we will eventually learn this feature, or we'll have to somehow deal with it. So yeah, there is, to some extent, there is this SFF edit tab here that allows some modifications. But if we are talking about the styles made by Yamaha themselves, we see that they not just they use channels other than channel from 9 to 16 by the convention, right? They also can use the channels from the first channel to the eighth channel, and then there is a routing of the channel, like if I hit the minor chord, go to this channel. If I hit the major chord, or maybe some more advanced chord, like I don't know, M7, M6, I don't know, then go to this channel. Now all stuff like this should be available to the style in the style creator itself. Okay, so we don't need to use the third-party software to, like, I don't know, Style Magic or stuff like this, to edit this, because again it's pretty much cumbersome. It still I believe it can be implemented right in Style Creator. Okay, so the same goes for the inability to show these extra channels at all. Like if I have the style that uses channels 1 to 8, I can't even edit it. It doesn't show me these channels. Okay, so I would like to see the style creator able to handle these channels as well. Now the same goes for more advanced stuff, like in the SFF2 version, like 3-zone NTR NTT parameter editing, all stuff like this. I mean, we should have the fully available custom editor here, because one way or another the power users deal with it. They can't create a good style without knowing these things. It just doesn't work. Okay, so that's another item. Okay, now I'll proceed with the custom drum mappings. Now this drum setup function is great. It allows me to pick different drums, assign them to the different notes. It's all good. However, how is it implemented? It's implemented with a series of system exclusive messages in the sint function. In the sint area, right? It's not function. It's area. It's a special bar in the style, right? So if it's implemented like this, I basically can't do two things. I can't use the style in the DAW and play it correctly, because it doesn't know how to read these system exclusive events, and even if it reads them, and even if it sends them, I can't hear the custom mapping. It just doesn't work. And also I can't reuse these custom mappings. So I would like to see here the ability, I don't know where, the ability to save this custom drum kit that I've created here, just to save it as a regular sound. Okay, now I know it's complicated under the hood. I mean, I believe it's complicated under the hood, but still, bottom line, the samples are all here, so the sound should contain pointers to the specified samples, right? So it can be complicated, I don't know, to implement under the hood, but it will be way more flexible, because usually if I for example work in some genre, like, I don't know, dance, for example. So if I work with the dance style, I will create one or two custom drum kits of the dance style, and then I will just reuse them all over and over again. Okay, for different types of the styles. Now it's pretty much impossible. Now, okay, you can just create this drum kit, save it like a template without any other track. Then to create another style, if I want to create another style, just to start from this one. But again, it's pretty much complicated, tedious, and I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Okay, so this is the item of the custom drum mapping. Okay, Um, the next item is pretty simple. Here in the channel edit, I have a series of controls like groove control, maybe dynamics control. So far so good. However, if I have a lengthy track, usually I don't want to apply this change on the whole track. Instead, I would like to concentrate on some specific bars that I currently working on. So the whole feature of apply all this stuff just to some specific bars or some specific maybe parts of the bars, depends on the resolution, will be very convenient here. Okay, so that's another thing. For example, make a, I don't know, crescendo in bars from the first bar to the second bar, including. This is the example. Great. Another thing I would like to see is the separate editing of the drums. So when we are talking about the drum track, it usually consists of various drums, and I would like to see maybe a kind of virtual track, if it's possible. I know it's kind of advanced stuff, but still, virtual track for toms, for hits, for rides, I don't know, all stuff like that, and then an ability to mix it into one track. Okay, so in my opinion, it will be a welcome addition. The next thing I would like to talk about is the guitar mode. Now, guitar mode is a really interesting thing, but in practice, it's really complicated for the people who maybe don't know how to play guitar. Like, for example, I by myself, I've never played guitar, so I don't know how does it work internally. What is the best way to produce the sound of guitar? So yeah, okay, I understand there is a guitar mode. I enter the guitar mode. I'll try to understand. I'll try to learn from various tutorials or in YouTube, because I don't have any kind of documentation. But even though I learned all this stuff and I understand what people are talking about, I just can't create a decent guitar sound. Okay, and this is my okay, you can say, okay, it's not my problem, it's your problem that you don't know how to play. But on the other hand, in Quark, for example, there is a feature like this. There is a guitar mode that, okay, some people claim that it produces the mediocre solution, I don't know, but still there is something that can allow me to produce a pretty decent result in a very, let's say, with a small effort. Okay, so I would like to see something like this also in this keyboard, in Yamaha keyboards. Okay, now the next item is the arpeggios. Now arpeggio, basically I would like to see two features about the arpeggio. The first feature is to allow me to create custom arpeggios, and then I would like to record them at the part of the track. Like, for example, there is a feature like this in Motif. Okay, so we can put arpeggio into the pattern, and it has been existed there for ages. So I would like to see something similar here. Like, I would like to play the arpeggio maybe for melodic tracks like phrase 1 or phrase 2. It can be really good for dance tracks, for example, okay, for dance styles. Okay, just play from the arpeggio. Now, okay, we can do it maybe via the DAW, right? But again, we are talking we're talking here about the style creator. So that's my suggestion. Like, implement the way to store custom arpeggios, and implement the way to record the arpeggio, the part of the style in the style channel. Okay. Now the next one is the audio drums. Now I know that Keytron has these features, like they work pretty tough with the audio drums, and they allow even selecting the audio drums right in the track from the predefined list of our drums. So maybe allowing us to work with audio drums right in the style creator will also allow us to use the loops, the various loops that we can download from the internet and use them in the style creator. Now I believe that it's pretty much complicated feature, because we should know where to cut the loop and all stuff like this, but still something that will allow us to work with the audio drums can be a very welcome addition. Okay, great. Now the next item, we are going to the end of my list. Okay, I know that it can be it's a really long video, but still my hope is that maybe by chance somehow maybe Yamaha will see this video, and maybe they will even borrow some ideas from it to implement in this in their keyboard. Okay, so again, let's continue with the factory styles. Now the idea of factory styles in Yamaha is great. Like they don't allow us to edit the factory style. The factory memory is basically read-only. Okay, so we can't really update anything there. So instead, we are supposed to save the factory style in the user area, or maybe on the flash drive, and then proceed with our editings. Now, on the other hand, this has nothing to do with the fact that we can't edit even the style that has been already saved in the user area. So I know that there is a style unlocker, again, third-party program that allows to reset the bit responsible for locking the style, or style part at least, and then in some cases it works, in some cases it still doesn't work, because maybe the style has more than makes use of the first till eighth channel. This is something the style creator doesn't allow me to edit even if I reset this bit. So again, I would like to see the ability to edit the styles that I took from the factory styles, and I've saved them in the user area. So in fact, this third-party solution will become obsolete. Okay, so we won't need to use it. Okay, and the last thing is maybe more general. Now I understand that in various areas Yamaha took the approach of offloading the functionality to the DAW. So when we create styles, however, there is I haven't found any any software, any official software at least, suggested by Yamaha or maintained by Yamaha themselves, that will allow me to create styles from scratch. So okay, if you provide a software as such, like for the Windows or for Mac or maybe for iPads, which also can be pretty much convenient, okay, in this case maybe really we don't need all these features in the style creator itself, because I understand that maybe adding this feature, the cost of addition this feature, or maybe testing them in this kind of keyboard can be a really, let's say, long process. Okay, custom hardware, I don't know, but if we are going with the path of, okay, we don't have all this functionality in the style creator, but instead we suggest the software solution. In this case, okay, I can understand it. I can even buy this software. It's great, and then I'll be able at least to make my styles in the official way. Now, in practice, I have to use the third parties which are not coming from Yamaha. like Style Magic, which is by the way, it's a great software, right? I bought it when I really appreciate this software, but I'm talking about that I mean that we need some official way maintained by Yamaha itself. Like, what happens if tomorrow Yamaha releases the next generation of keyboards and it will change the style format? Maybe the developer of the Style Magic and programs like this, maybe he won't be able to, you know, to update his software with this new feature, because everything is closed. Yamaha doesn't really have an doesn't really open source the specification of the style, right? So this is something that I really would like to see in Yamaha keyboards, like, you know, software solution, hardware solution, operating system updates, anything that will, you know, that will work. Now, in particular, if we are going, we're talking about the DAWs. Now there is a Mixmaster, which is again a great program, but it doesn't come from Yamaha. And yes, okay, there is a go-to function that we can install Mixmaster, we can install Kickwalk, again, not the Cubase, although, I mean, despite the fact that Yamaha has bought the Cubase, the Steinberg, right? So it is the same company. But now we need to, you know, to learn how to work in the Cakewalk, and it doesn't have any special integration. So again, I think it's an area that currently lacks, and we need more guided or more robust approach that will allow us going the official path. Okay, so great. So it concludes my my list. Now I don't have any more items, because I know that this video is also is already really, let's say, long and boring. But again, my hopes that I'll see at least some of these features in the next generation of Yamaha keyboards. So hopefully it was interesting for you, and I will be more than glad if you will share your opinions. Whether do you need really this? Do you really need this feature, or you don't care? I don't know. I mean, as I said in the beginning of the in the introduction, I don't play with other musicians. I play for my my own joy and fun. As I said, I'm a hobbyist, and again, I learned this stuff to some extent, right? But again, I would like to see how other people react on these items. So thank you all for your attention, and have a good day, have a good week. All the best. Thank you. Bye.